Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be answering my top 10 questions that I get asked about my vinyl collection. It is inspired by questions you all have left in the comments of my videos, and also a friend of ours that came by the other night, and he was absolutely so interested in my vinyl collection, and he was asking me so many wonderful questions. I was absolutely thrilled to answer. He was asking me if I had certain records in my collection and if I'd play them for him, and just a lot of questions. So that really inspired me. I wanted to answer the questions for you all too. And anyway, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I would really appreciate your support. And one of the questions that I get asked in person, quite often is, why do I collect vinyl records? And for me, it just goes back to my childhood. I grew up listening to vinyl. Vinyl was the format when I was growing up. My mom had records. She let me play on her stereo all the time. I just really got used to the warm sound. I really just loved it. I loved having the records with the artwork. I loved being able to see them and read them as I listened to music and just dancing to the music. So for me, first and foremost, vinyl is nostalgic. In my opinion, I also think it sounds better. When cassettes came out, they were very convenient, and yes, I played them in my car, but I never thought they sounded as good as a vinyl record did. And then when CDs came out, and there was so much hype about CDs, so many people were saying, this is the format, it never sounded better, your music is just, this is as good as it gets. So I remember being very excited about CDs. The very first CD I bought was the Garth Brooks debut album. I remember putting it on with so much anticipation. And maybe that's part of the problem. I had so many expectations. But when I played it, it just didn't overwhelm me. And no offense if you all are CD fans and you like that better than vinyl, no offense at all. Just in my opinion, I just felt like when I was listening to that Garth Brooks album, it just, on the CD, it just really lacked the warmth that vinyl had. I just wasn't just in awe of it. I was kind of disappointed, to be honest with you. So for me, vinyl, it's a very imperfect format, but I just really love it. I love the sound. I love the physical format of just holding a record in your hands. So that is why I collect vinyl. The next question is, why start a channel? And I guess the reason why I started a channel was, first off, early on when I was collecting vinyl, I was so enthusiastic about it, and I had absolutely no one to share that enthusiasm with in my real life. No one really cared about vinyl records. So I just wanted to meet somebody or find somebody who loved vinyl records as much as me. I was just on fire. So one day I just had this idea, and I thought, you know what? What if I look on YouTube? Do you think there's somebody out there who might be showing some vinyl record collections? So just out of curiosity, I looked up on YouTube, and I was blown away by the vinyl community. I had no idea the vinyl community existed, but it was so wonderful to hear other people who were as enthusiastic about vinyl as I was. Billy Hurst was one of them I really latched onto because he was so enthusiastic and warm and kind. His collection blew my mind. So that's what got me started on my vinyl channel. There were a lot of really cool contests, the camaraderie between the vinyl collectors, the friendships that were forming, and I just really wanted to be a part of it. So that's why I decided to start a channel. And now I'm going to answer question number 2. What are the prettiest vinyl records I have in my collection? So let me go ahead and show you these. These are the first ones I had in mind. This is a Record Store Day release from 2019. It is the Best of Townes Van Zandt. He was an amazing singer-songwriter, just absolutely talented, and they just really came up with beautiful packaging for him last year. I absolutely love it. It is the classiest record that I have in my collection. Take a look at this. This is what's called Tiger's Eye. It was a 2 LP set, and I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. So for me, that is the classiest record I have in my collection. And I have to show this one too because it's the coolest of the cool, really amazing. This is Legend by Bob Marley and the Wailers. It's a greatest hits compilation. It's the 30th anniversary. And they really did a great job putting this package together. Take a look at this gorgeous vinyl, a 2 LP set. Check it out. Just absolutely amazing. And those are the 2 prettiest records I have in my collection, which leads up to question number 3. And that is, I get questioned so often in the comments below about what vinyl sleeves I use to protect my records. So let me show you this one. This is a new product by Vinyl Storage Solutions. It's absolutely clear. This is the inner sleeve, and it just gives really great protection. Your record is not going to fall out of this. Just absolutely incredible. So I love these new inner sleeves by Vinyl Storage Solutions. Also, let me show you this one too. Let me go back to this Townes Van Zandt record. This is what's called a 4 mil thickness record sleeve. It's absolutely incredible. It will protect your record so well. It's sealed. I use the kind that seals right here at the bottom. Also, I like keeping my records on the outside, so I help prevent ring wear and damage done to the covers because I can just pull out a record. Sorry, I have it. Okay, so you could just pull out your record like this. So I absolutely love having the 4 mil thickness for my records. And also I have the 2 mil thickness when it comes to gatefolds. This is the 13th floor elevators. It has an amazing gatefold, and I love having the 2 mil thickness because it has a little bit more flexibility to it. You can just open these right up and enjoy your gatefold. But then also here in the back, I'm able to keep the record. So I really love the 2 mil thickness inner sleeves for gatefolds. I love the 4 mil sleeves when I just want to have a really good protective cover. So Vinyl Storage Solutions, they have sent me samples here and there. The owner is Mike, and he's been really kind. He's a huge vinyl enthusiast. So he has sent me samples along the way, but I'm a paying customer because I absolutely love Vinyl Storage Solutions. So that's the question to answer. Question number 3, what vinyl sleeves I use. I use Vinyl Storage Solutions, and I get them off of his website, but you can also buy them from Amazon. Just make sure it says Vinyl Storage Solutions so you're getting the right product from the right company. And now I move on to question number 4. Why do I have multiple copies of the same album? And I don't have a lot of those. Most of the time it's because I upgraded to something that sounds better or is in a little bit better shape and just haven't purged the old one from my collection. But every once in a while, there's just something special about another one, and I don't really know how to explain it. If you're a vinyl collector, you will understand. Let me just show an example. This is Paul McCartney's Ram. This is the first one I got of this album. I'm a huge Paul McCartney fan. This one is the Capitol version, and there were a few little clicks and pops, but not bad. It sounded pretty good. However, at the time, I was really into colored vinyl, and all of a sudden, a limited edition colored vinyl of this album came out, and I just couldn't resist because I thought it was a beautiful press. Let me show you the vinyl here. So this is really incredible, and it sounds great. Anything you worry about when it comes to colored vinyl, do not worry about Paul McCartney because all of his records sound amazing. And so I was absolutely thrilled to get this really beautiful quiet press of Ram. And then after I bought this one, I was at a store in Nashville, Tennessee. I think it's called Luna Records, and they had this one. And this one, as you can see by this strip right here, this is the Archive series. And once I saw this one, it was a 2 LP set, had a lot of the outtakes and just a lot of extras from this album. And I remember telling my husband, oh, I just bought the colored vinyl version. I wish I hadn't bought it because I would love to have this Archive version. someone had turned it back into the store. It was sold out, but someone had traded it in. So I really wanted it, but I decided not going to get it. And I went to go somewhere else. And when I came back, my husband had bought this one for me. So that is the third copy of this album I have. I enjoy all of them. Just sometimes it happens. Something special comes out that you really want. And with a lot of times you do need to purge that first press you bought or first copy you bought. But sometimes they're also different that you hate to part with one of them. And this leads me to question number 5, to show my favorite box set that I have. This is it, and it's absolutely amazing. I love the way, I like the format of this one. It's a 9 LP set. I love how it just looks like a scrapbook or a photo album, and you can just pull through. It's very easy to get to the records. There's a song on here called Melinda. This is the only way you can get that song. So I just think this is a beautiful collection of Tom Petty. Tom Petty himself purposely selected every single live performance that's on here. He picked his very favorite performances he gave, and I just love it. I think this is an incredible box set to own. So that one would be Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers Live Anthology is my favorite box set. Question number 6 is, do I ever listen to CDs or cassettes? I don't actually really collect CDs or cassettes, and I rarely listen to them. However, where I work, I am so blessed. I'm able to work with my very best friend. We have a lot of fun, and I just have a really cool friend. She gave me some really great CDs that are still sealed from the 90s and the 2000s. Just absolutely amazing CDs recently. So because of everything she gave me, and I'm just going to show you a small sample of the CDs she gave me. But because I now have a tremendous collection of CDs, I do have a CD player, and I have been playing some CDs. So let me just show you just a few of the records or CDs she gave me. They're still sealed, and they're amazing. Here are the Beatles Sgt. Pepper, still sealed on CD. I think that came out in the 90s. Abbey Road, still sealed. This one's from the early 2000s. It's Santana, just an amazing CD here there. And this is Jimi Hendrix Experience, the BBC Sessions, another really cool CD, still sealed. This one is the 25th anniversary of Band on the Run from the 90s. Absolutely killer CD to own. Another sealed copy. This is Jimi Hendrix. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I remember seeing this like a picture disc when it came out on Record Store Day on Black Friday last year. This is Bob Dylan's live 1966, the Royal Albert Hall concert. Still sealed. I will be opening these and listening to them, enjoying them. Here is Johnny Cash. This came out back in 2000. And this one is the Allman Brothers Band, the Fillmore Concert. So now I have some really amazing CDs, and I have been playing some and enjoying them. And looking forward to opening these and enjoying these as well. The next question, number 7, is to show my stereo equipment. And about a year ago, I did a video about the stereo equipment I use, and I will leave a link below if you're curious about my stereo equipment. I do not have really expensive audiophile equipment. I hope to someday, and I will slowly build on it. But for now, what I have is very mid-range. I do get really good sound. I'm very happy with what I have. But if you are curious about it, please watch the video. I will leave the link below. But when you do watch the video, keep in mind that when you see the speakers, since that video was made, I have upgraded to SVS Prime Tower speakers. They're absolutely amazing. I did a lot of research, and I really feel like I got the most bang for my buck when I bought those. Also, I did upgrade my Ortofon Red stylus to a blue Ortofon, or Ortofon Blue stylus. And I have been getting some tremendous results. I really love the sound of the Ortofon Blue. I highly recommend it. So anyway, that is my stereo equipment information. If you want to know anything more about it, please check out the video. And the next question is question number 8. What genres of vinyl do I like to collect? So first off, one of the most fun bands to collect, easily the Beatles. I love collecting them. They're not a genre, but you know, when it comes to Beatles, there's so many things you can buy, so many records you can look for. And I love having these greatest hits compilations. You all have seen those before. These are the colored vinyl versions that came out back in the late 70s or early 80s. And I really do love having those. And it's just really fun when you can collect something like the Beatles, who are highly collectible anyway, and then you could get something special like their vinyl being colored or something like that. Here is the greatest hits. This is from 1967 to 1970. This is probably my favorite era of theirs, and I really do love, I got this one too, and it's on this beautiful blue Capitol label. I love the blue vinyl. Again, you know, Beatles are not a genre. You'd like to think they're kind of a genre of themselves, but they're just really great music and a lot of fun to collect. These are my crown jewels of my collection. These are Second State Beatles Butcher albums. Underneath this cover, you can, if they got peeled, is the Butcher album, and just really amazing piece of history. And I have really cool stories that I've shared in past videos about how I was able to find both of these copies. So very happy to have those. I also love just something really nice and relaxing like Simon and Garfunkel. I love collecting Simon and Garfunkel albums. I just think they're really cool. I've been trying to get newer versions of them because I find a lot of the older pressings have a lot of snaps and pops. So I've been kind of looking out for the really newer and the best pressings possible I can of Simon and Garfunkel. I also have really gotten into jazz. Here is Lee Morgan's The Cooker from the Tone Poet series, and this is a really great album. The quality of the album cover is amazing, and the sound is wonderful. And I just have Mazzy from the Norman Maslov channel, and also Chris from Tunes from the Man Cave. You all totally got me into jazz, and there's just nothing better than when I am off from work and I can just sit back, get a cup of coffee. I love putting on a jazz album in the mornings. They're just incredible. So thank you all so much for introducing me to a whole new genre of music. I really love jazz, and I still love collecting rock from the 70s and 80s. Bands like Skid Row, Van Halen's my very favorite band of all time, Boston, Kiss. You know, I just love that classic rock. So that is probably my number one, what I find in my collection. If you look through my stuff, you'd find mostly classic rock. Absolutely love it. Now question number 9 is to show my favorite album cover, and that one's really tough because there's a lot of beautiful album covers. Some of them are sentimental or just really important, but for me, this is the one that comes to mind when asked that question. It is Derek and the Dominoes, Layla, and Other Assorted Love Songs. For some reason, I just love the colors. I love the painting. It's just really beautiful. I know Patty Boyd owns the original painting of this album. And if y'all know the history of Patty Boyd and George Harrison and then Eric Clapton having an infatuation with her, this album cover makes sense. And I've just always loved it. I think it's just absolutely beautiful. Very simple, but very beautiful. And it's my favorite album cover. And now the final question, question number 10 is, how do I get started collecting vinyl? And, you know, for every person, that's a very different, you know, there's a different answer. I would say, first off, just know what you want to get for your vinyl collection. Get your very favorite albums that you love. First off, get the ones you really want, your grails. Just pick things you really like, but make sure they were in very good shape and that the album covers look really good. Don't just grab things, really inspect them and take your time. It is not a race. It takes time to collect a vinyl, just to have a vinyl collection. It takes a lot of time. Be very careful, be very prideful of what you collect. Don't get a bunch of junk because you're just going to end up upgrading it later. After you have everything that you want, that you know you want in your collection, then you feel free to take suggestions from other people, because other people are going to steer you into other genres and open up other musical possibilities for you. Get what you want first, and then take suggestions from other people. Look it up on YouTube or just research it yourself and make sure you like it too, and then go from there. It's a lot of fun, and also I guess my biggest tip I would give you: do not let yourself get into a financial situation because you collect records, because it just instantly turns into something that's just a lot of fun into something that's very stressful. So do not let yourself get into a financial debt or any kind of problems because of vinyl collecting. So those are the top 10 questions that I get asked about my vinyl collecting. If you have any questions you'd like to ask me, please leave your question below. I would really appreciate it. Maybe I can do another video. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I would really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.